So have you ever wondered why so many amazing Indian businesses just struggle? I mean, they've got incredible products, they work super hard, but they're still stuck, right? They're trapped in this endless cycle of crazy competition and profits that are just paper thin. It's a bit contrarian, but it's powerful. It's all about ignoring the 99% to focus on a super profitable niche. Let's dive right in.
Okay, to really get to the heart of this problem, let's look at a story you've probably seen 100 times. So, meet Mukesh and Mahesh. Now, both of these guys sell fantastic, high-quality chairs. They're both hardworking, honest entrepreneurs. And you know what? They're both struggling with the exact same problem. They can barely make any money. They're just locked in this constant price war, and neither one can ever seem to get ahead. Sound familiar? I bet it does.
And that story? That's the reality for like 99% of Indian businesses. They're caught in what we're going to call the 99% trap. It's this absolutely brutal environment where competing just feels like a losing game right from the get-go. And the real reason for this trap? It's a fascinating psychological concept called the spend threat.
So what is spend threat? It's actually pretty simple. Think about it. People will drop, say, 5,000 rupees on a fancy dinner or a cool new gadget without even blinking. But then they'll agonize for weeks over spending that exact same amount on something that could genuinely improve their life, right? Like a financial planning session or some game-changing software for their business. And this is exactly why that assumption, oh, everyone needs my product, is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can possibly make. And this right here really paints the picture of the financial reality for most of your potential customers. Let's break it down. For a typical household earning, let's say 1 lakh rupees a month, a whopping 80% of that is already gone. It's committed to fixed expenses, rent, school fees, utilities, you name it. That leaves just 20% for everything else. So when you're selling to this market, you're fighting tooth and nail for a really, really small and very crowded piece of the pie.
Okay, so if competing for that 99% is a total trap, then what's the alternative, right? Well, the real opportunity lies in a complete, radical shift in your focus. Instead of fighting over scraps with everybody else, you're going to target a completely different audience.
This is the key. Your entire focus needs to shift to the top 1 million affluent customers in India. These are the people who can actually afford your premium solution without any financial stress. And here's the thing, they're not looking for the cheapest option. They are looking for the best solution. This is where the real profit is hiding.
But how do you find them? It's actually simpler than you think. You use a simple but really powerful filter called the MAN framework for every single lead you get. M is for money. Do they have the purchasing power? A is for authority. Can they actually make the buying decision? And N is for need. Do they have a real clear need for what you're offering? If you don't get a clear yes to all three, you just politely move on. That discipline alone will save you so much time chasing dead ends.
All right, so now we know who we're targeting. The next big question is, how do we actually approach them? This is going to require a whole new toolkit, and it all starts with the single most important lever you can pull in your business, your pricing.
And I want you to ask yourself this question and be really honest. Is your pricing just based on your costs, plus some small markup? Or is it based on the incredible value you deliver and what your ideal customer is actually willing to pay for that result? I'm telling you, the answer to that question changes absolutely everything.
You see, that old cost-plus model? That's what keeps businesses like Mukesh and Mahesh stuck in that low-profit trap forever. The new way, the much smarter way, starts with the customer. You ask, what is solving this problem worth to them? And from that value, you work backward to create your price. It's a complete flip of that old, flawed way of thinking.
Now, to attract this premium audience, you can't just run a few ads and call it a day. You need to become a clear marketing avatar or personality. So, which one are you? Are you going to be the expert educator, teaching your audience something incredibly valuable? Or maybe the captivating entertainer, creating content they literally can't look away from? Or are you the powerful storyteller, building a deep emotional connection? The thing is, you have to choose one and get really, really good at it.
Okay, so you've got the right customer, you've got the new toolkit. The next piece of the puzzle is building a brand that the top 1% doesn't just find, but actively seeks out. And the absolute #1 key to doing this is differentiation.
And here's a huge myth I want to bust right now. Something so many businesses get wrong. Competing on quality is not a strategy. It's just the price of admission. Think about it. When everyone says they have a high-quality product, you're not standing out at all. You're just another voice in the crowd. Quality is the bare minimum expectation. It's not what makes you different.
So where does real differentiation come from?
It comes from your unique positioning in the market, your one-of-a-kind service model, or the totally unforgettable experience you create for your clients. That's what makes you memorable. That's what gives you the power to command a premium price.
And you know what? As a small business, you have a massive advantage here. You can use your personality to build trust almost instantly. So instead of a boring generic name like construction services, you become your family contractor. See the difference? One is a commodity, the other is a relationship. This is exactly how a small graphic designer can outcompete a giant agency, not by being cheaper, but by becoming the client's trusted creative partner.
Now, putting all of this into practice requires more than just new tactics and tools. It demands a really deep mental shift. Because honestly, the biggest hurdles you're going to face aren't out there in the market. They're right inside your own head.
Look, when you start charging what you're worth and targeting an elite clientele, you're gonna get more no's. You just are. But you have to completely reframe what rejection means. It's not failure, it's just feedback. It's data. Seriously, the world's most successful people are also the ones who've been rejected the most. It's just part of the game when you decide to aim high.
And through all this, you have to remember why you're doing it in the first place. Your business isn't the end goal. It's not. It's a powerful tool. It's a tool to create wealth for your family, to build influence in your industry, and ultimately to create a real, meaningful impact on the world.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought to really chew on. Your business is a tool. The question is, what are you building with it? Because your answer to that question is what will guide every single strategic decision you make from this day on. Thanks so much for tuning in.